In this tutorial, we're going to go over creating an outdoor venue. So right now I already have my space laid out. I'm going to go with a 60 by 75 area. Now I want to put in a background image. You could either go with color or you could go with image here. I'm going to click on that. This is going to give me some colorful options. I want to go with a grass theme. We have a couple different choices here. What you can do is just click on them and it's going to show you what they look like. And I think I like that one, so I'm going to hit OK. And now I want to work with some tents outside. So I'm going to create a little fundraiser type of venue, and with that I need some tents to put some chairs under. I'm going to come over to the inventory and click on tents. It's going to give me several options, different sizes. Right now we're in a large space, so I'm going to go with the larger one. I'm going to drag and drop it into my space, click on it there. Let's bring this over, and this is where the grid works out really well. I can position it, kind of corner it there. Now I'm going to be clicking together a bunch of these tents. I just went up here to copy and brought another one in that way, or you can come over to the assets panel and grab it like that. But to make it easier on me, I clicked within my plan. I'm going to come over to the magnets, make it 100. And this is going to make it a lot easier. You'll see the magnets are a little bit larger in the space, and it's just going to grab it and lock it right in. So let's copy a few more of these tents and do that. But anytime you have an asset that has a connecting point, it could be chairs connecting to each other or the tents, panels, then the magnets come in handy because it locks it into place. Let's put a few more in here. There we go. Whoops. I think I had a little bit too much coffee today. All right, now let's come over. Let's put an end cap on this. And that's going to close off the back end here. Again, you see that magnet nice and large. And there we go. Now I'm also going to lock in my tents. I'm going to come to Properties panel where it says lock there. And what's going to happen is when I start to bring chairs in, or tables, or even a array zone, which we'll go over, you know, if I grab items, I don't want to accidentally grab the tent. So by locking it, it's going to keep it in a fixed position, and it can't move if you start moving items around. So let's just lock one more in here. There we go. And then let's put a little end piece on here as well. This is going to be our entrance. Bring it over, drag and drop it in, and let's hit lock while we're in here. Let's come up and hit save. We're going to give this a name. Let's just call it Golf Event. And I'm also going to hit quick save. This way it automatically is being saved within the drawing space. Every time you go into 3D, you are going to have to hit save. So if you do quick save, it automatically saves it, saves you an extra step there. And there we go. It just did a quick save for us. And why don't we go into 3D and see what this looks like? Might take a few minutes, depending upon the items. There we go. Look at that. This is the back end that I put in there to close it off. And then we have a nice little entrance here. And we can go in, you see the shadow. So it's giving you a realistic look at your tent venue. And let's click out. Okay, now we're back in our plan here. And at this point, I want to bring some chairs in. I want to start creating my space within the tent. So I'm going to come over here to inventory. I'm going to click on chairs. It's going to bring in a variety of chairs for my event. I think since this is just going to be an outdoor casual setting, I'm going to go with the folding chair. I'm going to drag and drop it into this space. Then I'm going to grab my array zone right here on my tools panel, drag and drop that in. We're going to stretch the array zone. And I'm going to make a copy of it while I have it here because I want to keep my array zone the same. Because I'm going to do a couple sections of chairs. Now I'm going to come over here, I'm going to click on my chair. I'm going to go up to the button bar where it's got room arrangement, click on that. Click on select array zone. Click in the array zone, show window, and then draw. Might take a few seconds to position the chairs within the array zone, but what it's going to do is it's going to lay it out for you so you can see how many chairs you can fit within that space. Let's try that again. There we go. It's Monday. Computers are always slow on Monday. Anyway, I have a lot of chairs fitting in. I have 99 if you look right down here. So I don't need that many chairs, and I want there to be a little bit more space. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to come down to gap between rows. I'm going to click on that. I'm going to go 24, and that is between the rows where your leg room is going to be. And then the gap between objects, I'm going to put 6 inches. And then I also want to bring the chairs down from the top a little bit. And actually I'm going to keep that at 0. So let's hit draw again. And you can see it repositioned them. Number of objects is 64 now. It also changed the left justification because it removed some chairs. So at this point, since I like the quantity I have, I'm just going to give it a number, change it a little bit from what I did before, and see what happens when I hit draw again. And the 12 that I put in brought it down 12, and it brought it over 6 is what it did there in this space here. It brought it down 12, and it brought it over 6. And I don't think I necessarily need 6. Let's just go with 3, see what happens. And actually for this venue, it's not that important because I have a lot of space in there. But if you're in a tight fit area, then you can get it precise with where your positioning is. So now I'm going to hit submit. And there it is. It brought them right in there. So let's do this array zone next to it now. So again, I'm going to click on the chair. I'm going to come up to the room arrangement. Now I have the same array zone, and I know all the sizes I want. I'm going to click in there, click here. I could have gone over and I could have did like a grouping of it and then copied all of them. But at this point, this is probably just the same amount of effort that's going to go in since I already kind of know the numbers that I had played around with originally when I was creating it. And now that we have our 2 sections of chairs in here, let's start bringing in some tables. I'm going to come over to the inventory, click on tables right underneath chairs. It's going to bring up a variety of tables to choose from. I do want to use a table with a drape. This is a larger one, so I'm going to drag and drop it in. I can rotate it with the little rotation handle right there, or you can always come over to our properties panel and change your rotation by clicking right there where it says rotation. And let's grab this table here. I'm going to position it kind of right in the middle, and then I'm going to go backwards from there. Now you'll see the magnets again. It's a great way of moving objects and clicking them together by using the magnets. And we're going to click on another one here. And this is going to be for our buffet for this event that we have. So, wait, oops. There we go. I can remove this chair right now. I'm going to click on it. That's the one I use to create my room arrangement. And I'm just going to come up and hit delete. And that's gone. So now, let's bring a stage in. come down here under stage structures, click on that. It's going to bring you into an area that has a lot of different types of stages. We have a projector screen, different stages. We have the steps down here that you can attach to the different heights. I'm going to go with this one. It's a nice demonstration stage. It's already got these steps with it. That's perfect. And I'm just going to drop it right in here. Now let's go look in the 3D properties over here in your properties panel of this stage, because I'm going to put some monitors on it, so I want to see the height I need to raise them to. It's telling me it's 36 inches tall. So I'm going to click OK. Let's come on over here now to AV. I want to bring some of our monitors in and speakers. And this guy here, which is already on a stand, I'm going to drop him on top of my stage. And at this point, it's sitting within the stage. And now we're in the 3D setting. Here we go. Look at that. Doesn't that look great? We're going to zoom on in here. Now, I'm working this walkthrough. If we want to go to the walkthrough cam, it's right here. You click right down there. And I'm using the arrows on my keyboard to maneuver it. Now, this is what I wanted to show you with the monitor. See, it's standing within the stage. That is because when you bring it in, it's on floor level. We're going to have to raise it up to make sure that it's sitting properly on the stage, and we're going to turn it around also. But we're in walkthrough right now. If you want to come right next to it, orbital, click on that, and you got a bird's eye view. Isn't that great? You can spin around. You can see your draped tables from the back side through the windows. There's the monitor. If you want to, let's go look at this a little closer. See, so there's the monitor up there. And again, we have to turn it around and raise it up. But this is giving you a feel for your event. Let's come up here, click to close, and we're back in the plan view again. So now with the monitor, I'm going to I clicked on it. I'm going to come over here to the rotation. Oops. And I'm going to put in 180. That's going to flip it around halfway. Hit enter. And then let's move this guy over. We're going to go to 3D properties where the monitor is. Now where it shows elevation, we're going to elevate it, meaning we're going to raise it into the air. And if you remember, when we looked at our stage, it was 36 inches tall. So we're going to put 36 in. Hit OK. Also, you could put a video in at this point. You can go select video, and you can go in and you can, whatever video you already have in the space, let's just put on, we'll just put screensaver for now. And I'm going to hit OK. And we'll look at that in a few minutes. So let's go over to some more AV. Let's put some speakers in the corner. I didn't want another monitor. Let's delete that guy. I had it highlighted. That's what happened. And we're going to hit copy here. And we're going to put this speaker over here. And let's hit copy again. And this is the fun stuff. You can just start bringing in different items you want in your event. And just start creating. And your client is going to get a great view of what their party is going to look like in nice three-dimensional. It's going to help you when you're doing setup to explain things to other people, other vendors, and it just makes for a great presentation. I'm just angling these a little bit right now, and I think I'm going to bring some plants in. Let's go get some plants. Plants and decoration. So click on that, and there's some different items you can choose from. Let's just bring these guys in. We're going to put them over by the speakers, and I think it's blending in with the with the grass right now. We're going to kind of hide the speakers a little bit with these plants. How's that? That's a good thing. And again, this is going to make your presentation a little bit more aesthetically pleasing. Copy again, and you can just go all day with this fun stuff But let's go back and get to more of the serious items that we want to bring in here. So I'm going to go back over to my inventory. Let's look at lounge furniture, because this is an outdoor venue. I don't think any of that would be good for the outdoor seating. This might be good, because this is a little bench. Well, you know what? Let's just bring this bench in and see what it looks like. I mean, to have seating around the perimeter, the outside of this tent, actually would be very nice for people that are just kind of hanging out, maybe not necessarily doing anything with a raffle or getting any food, or maybe, you know, they got some food, but they want to get away from the all the activity going on inside the tent, and you have some little benches right outside here. So we're going to put these in, and we'll see what they look like in a few minutes as well. Okay, so let's go in, and what do I want to get now? I think I want to create some table settings. So I'm going to click on table, and I want to just go with small tables for this setting. I'm going to bring my table in. I'm going to click on that, and I'm going to go up to table arrangement up here in the button bar. Let's click on that. Now it automatically brings it in with the first chair on the list up there, and we are going to keep with our folding chair. And right now it's showing I have 8 chairs. Shows it right over here around the table. I don't want that many, so I'm going to bring it down, see what it looks like with 6 chairs. You know, that's a decent amount. I'm going to click generate. And it brought it right in. Now what I want to do is I am going to have a few chairs just positioned back here. And, you know, I can do a couple things. I can just make copies of it and just bring them in like that. And that's a quick way if you have just a few tables and chairs. But another way to do it is we're going to grab the array zone. We're going to make a space in here. Now this is outside our tent. So we're going to have some tables here if people want to get some food at the buffet and then come over here and eat out of the tent area, because there's maybe some speakers up on the stage talking and they don't maybe want to listen to them at this point. So we have an array zone here. Let's go up to, let's click on the table that I want. I'm going to go to the room arrangement, select array zone. I'm going to click in it, and then I'm going to click show window. And it's going to bring us back in here, and then I'm going to hit draw, and it's showing you the tables and chairs position. Now that's the honeycomb. Let's go click on grid and see what that looks like. And I have to hit draw, and it shows just 2 in there. Now I have a big gap between the objects, so let's play around with this and see what happens when we hit draw again. There we go. That's what I'm looking for. So if it doesn't look the way you want it to, all you have to do is you come over, and gap between objects is going to change the quantity of tables that you have and the spacing, of course. So you want to make sure that it's going to fit proportionately in your layout. I am going to, let's go with 5 feet in between and see what happens. So I put 60 inches in. I'm going to hit draw, and then it brings it in. Now you can do the top or left justification, right? We're going to just kind of move these around just a little bit, and then we'll take a look at it. Bring it into the drawing, see what happens. Again, it's an outdoor venue, so we can always shift this a little bit. And I'm going to hit submit. And it's going to bring it into the layout, and you're going to notice it's got numbers on it, which is great, because this way, if you have clients that want particular people sitting at a certain table, or if you want to change the name of the table, like click on this table here where the 1 is, up where it says name. You know, let's put in VIP. Maybe this is the table that a special person sits at. There we go. VIP's in there. And if you have maybe last names of some big donors or something, you can put them in with those tables at this point. Let's go into 3D and see what this is starting to look at. That will bring you in. There we go. Look at that. And you know, it did this because we had the quick save. We didn't have to go in and keep saving the drawing. So let's zoom in a little bit closer here. Those chairs look really good. Now we could change the tablecloth when we were doing the table setup. You can change the colors. That's another great thing. Look at this. Isn't this fun? Let's zoom around like this. Go in here. The monitor's up on top of the stage now. It raised it up and it's facing the audience because we turned it around. You can see the speakers in the corner. Oops. There we go. Look at that. You can see your plants. There's our buffet tables at the end. Isn't this fun? I mean, this is the way to create something for a client. They're going to feel like they are personally, you know, a little person within this drawing, getting ready to enjoy their event. And let's exit out of here. And we saw our little benches on the other side there. Let's bring these benches around to the other side also. We'll have a little spot for people to sit over there as well. And that was kind of a happy accident, finding those benches. And that's the fun thing. If you go in the assets panel, you never know what you're going to find. You know, you can go in there and you may have a certain idea in your mind of what you want your event to look like. But then you go in and you start seeing other objects, and it's a whole new ball game. You'll notice as I'm grabbing them over the tents, I'm not moving the tents. That's because we locked the tents in place early on. Okay, so now what I think I'd like to do is bring in some umbrellas. So I'm going to come over to miscellaneous items in the inventory, and we have a few to choose from. I'm going to just grab this guy, drag and drop it into the drawing. And I kind of want to just give a little shade to our tables right here in the corner. We have, you know, this is going to be maybe one of the VIP tables. Let's make a copy of this. And we'll zoom in just a little bit closer here. Oh, here we go. And we're going to rotate this guy, oops, and reposition him. There, that looks good. Let's zoom out. And now we have a mirror image of the umbrellas. And I think that looks really nice right there, right on the corners. So I want to go into 3D and show you the umbrellas, but also I noticed when we were in there before that my monitor was actually sticking through the tent. Okay, and now we're back into 3D, and you can see that the monitor is actually going through the tent. So let's come in and look at it from this angle down here that you can see. And this is, again, the great thing about viewing your items in 3D. You can see if, you know, there's any little minor mistakes that you made. Correct them ahead of time before you send this off to your client. And there's my piano that I brought in a little bit earlier when you weren't looking. We're going to have to bring that into the drawing now, actually. So let's click on out. Now we're back in plan view. Let's grab that piano before I forget about it again. And sometimes I bring assets in and I misplace them, and well, that's another great thing about 3D. You can find items that you position off to the side. So now let's work on making this stage actually be the right height for what's going to be happening here. So the monitor is not going through the tent. I think what I want to do is I actually want to bring the monitors down and put them on ground level, and the stage will just be for my person that's going to be doing the presentation. So I'm going to click on the monitor, come over here to the properties panel. We could either click here, 3D properties, or right here where it's elevated. I'm going to put it to 0, because right now it's raised in the air 3 feet. So let's then just bring it right over here. I'm going to make a copy. And we're going to bring this right over here. So we have a couple monitors that are going to be flanking the new stage we bring in. So I'm going to click on this stage. I'm going to say bye-bye to it for now, delete it. We can find that one again if we want to use it in another layout. Stage structure. And so we're in here now, and I think I'm going to go with the 2-foot tall one. 8x4, that sounds good. Let's drag and drop it in. I don't need it to be too large. We're just going to have a person on here, but this is the great thing. Come over here to your properties panel. We can change the height of the stage. I don't necessarily want it 2 feet, so I'm going to bring it down to 12. Oops. And we can change the size. I think the depth at 48 will be good, but I want to make it a little bit longer so if the person's walking around, they don't accidentally fall off. Let's make it 9 feet, 108 inches. I'm going to hit enter. And it just moved, changed right in front of your eyes, okay? We'll see the height when we go into 3D, but right now, it's, I think, looking good for one person to be up there presenting. So at this point, let's grab a person. And we're going to bring someone in as our presenter, excuse me. Why don't we just use, this person looks good here. Just going to drag and drop them into the space. I'm going to rotate them. And I'm going to raise them up where the elevation is 12 inches, because I made the stage 12 inches tall. I'm going to hit enter. It's going to raise the person up. All right. So let's zoom back out, and everything's looking really good here. At this point, I think I want to come up to my layer control, and my array zone is visible. I'm going to click here. So it's not visible anymore. They're still in the drawing, but you just don't see them. And let's just add a few more plants at this point. Get this thing looking really good for the client when they review it. Once you send the link off to them, they're going to be able to open it up and look at it, plan view and 3D. And speaking of 3D, why don't we go in there right now and take a look at this. And now we're back in the 3D layout. Let's get a closer look here. Everything's looking great. I'm going to go over here to walk through cam, click on that, and we can actually walk through the event, get a feel for what it's really going to be like. Look at that. Isn't that great? We get to go back by our tables that we have in the back there. Let's go take a look at these tables over here. Wow, that's looking great. I'm loving what this has turned out to be like. Let's take a look at our stage and our presenter. The monitors are looking great right there. I'm glad we changed that height of the stage. And you know, while we're in by the monitors, we're going to come over here to settings, lower left hand corner, click on that, and you can animate your screen. Click right there, and there you go. We put the screensaver on a little bit earlier when we clicked on the monitor originally, when we brought it into the drawing, and your client can have their own videos that they put in it to make it really feel like they're at the event in the three-dimensional view here. Another thing you can do is you can hide your floor if you want for the presentation, or you can even change the background color. Isn't that cool? So you can have a lot of fun with this, and your client is really going to enjoy seeing their event three-dimensionally. They will really be impressed. Let's click out here, and let me show you really quick. When you want to share it with them, just come up here to share, click on the button, and you can put their information in, send them off an email, or come to links and just copy the links right there, paste it in the body of an email, send it off to them. You can even get the mobile app, and you can share with tablets or smartphones. So a lot of options here. that's it for the demonstration right now, and enjoy creating.